In this video, you'll learn how to connect Microsoft To Do with Google Calendar so your tasks and events stay perfectly in sync. By the end, you'll have an automated workflow that takes new tasks from Microsoft To Do and sends them straight to your Google Calendar without any manual copying and pasting. To set this up, we're going to use a tool called Zapier. Zapier lets different apps talk to each other using simple automations called zaps. Each zap has two parts: a trigger, which is what starts the automation, and an action, which is what happens as a result. In our case, the trigger will come from Microsoft To Do, and the action will be in Google Calendar. First, open a browser and go to zapier.com. If you already have an account, sign in. If you don't, you'll need to create one. A free plan is usually enough to get started with simple workflows like this, but be aware that heavy or frequent use might require a paid plan. Once you're signed in, look for the option to create a new zap. This is often labeled Create Zap or Create Zaps, usually at the top of the dashboard. Click that to open the Zap editor. Think of this editor as the workspace where you'll define what should happen and when. You'll start by setting up the trigger. Click on the area labeled Trigger. This tells Zapier which app will start the automation. In the search bar that appears, type Microsoft To Do, then select it from the list of apps. If you don't see it right away, make sure you've spelled it correctly and that your account supports it. Next, you'll choose the trigger event for Microsoft To Do. This is the specific thing that happens in Microsoft To Do that should kick off your zap, such as when a new task is created. Pick the event that best matches how you want your tasks to appear in Google Calendar. After selecting the trigger event, Zapier will prompt you to sign into your Microsoft account. Authorize Zapier to access Microsoft To Do so it can read your tasks. When that's done, run a trigger test. Zapier will try to pull in a recent task so you can confirm that everything is connected and working correctly. With the trigger set, it's time to define what happens next. Click on the Action section. This is where you tell Zapier what to do when the trigger fires. In the Action app search bar, type Google Calendar and select it from the list. Now choose the action event for Google Calendar, such as creating a new event. This decides how your Microsoft To Do task will appear in your calendar. Zapier will then ask you to sign into your Google account, allow the necessary permissions so Zapier can create events in your calendar. Just like before, run an action test. Zapier will use sample data from Microsoft To Do and try to create a test event in your Google Calendar. Check your calendar to make sure the event looks right and that the fields like title and date are mapped the way you want. Once both the trigger and action are tested and everything looks good, click Publish to turn your zap on. From this point on, whenever your chosen trigger happens in Microsoft To Do, Zapier will automatically run the action in Google Calendar. That's all you need to connect Microsoft To Do with Google Calendar using Zapier. Now, your tasks and schedule can stay in sync, helping you stay organized with much less manual effort.